Hi everyone, and happy Friday. In today's video, I will be doing the testing candy for Camp Way Too Hot experiment that was assigned by our Mystery Science. So the materials that we will need are a plate. It could be a styrofoam plate or a dinner plate. I am using a dinner plate. You will need a ruler or popsicle stick, or you can use your pencil. Okay, this is to hold the candy down while it is in warm water. Speaking of warm water, you need some Tupperware, just one. It doesn't matter how big or small. Okay, this is to hold the warm water, which is something else that you will need. Okay, you will obviously need some candy. So I've got a bag of chocolate and I have, whoopsies, a bag of gummies. You will need the Testing Candy for Camp Way Too Hot worksheet. It is assigned in Teams in the General Channel, and it's also on Parent Square. And last but not least, you need something to write with. Okay, with that being said, let's get started. Let's do the top of our worksheet. I'm going to write my name. Okay, today's date is going to be 4-30-21, last day of April. And element, you can write 2AL. All right. So right here, candy number 1 is going to be this Hershey bar. So I'm just going to write Hershey. Okay. And now I've got to draw my candy here. By the way, you are allowed to use colors. So I'm just going to draw my Hershey bar. If you do not have any candy at home, you can definitely copy mine. Write Hershey on there in all caps, because that's what it looks like. Oh, it says Hershey's. Yeah, I'm going to write it again on this one. Nice. Okay. Now, if you don't have this printout, that's okay. You can just fill out the forms and describe its properties. For example, it's a square shape. Its color is brown. It smells like chocolate. It's pretty light. It's not heavy. And it's also made out of chocolate. Okay. Feel free to color your drawings if you would like to. You don't have to. All right. And candy number 2 are gummy bears. So I'm going to write underneath candy number 2, gummy bears. Okay. If you have something different, that's okay. You can just write whatever other candy you have, like jelly beans or Starbursts. Okay. And now I'm going to draw them as best as I can. Oh wow, that's a good drawing. Nice. Now, if you don't have any gummies, that is okay too. You can just describe its properties. For example, orange and red are the colors. They're small. Okay. They feel squishy. They smell fruity. Okay. And they're not heavy. They're light, just like my chocolate. Although I do think my chocolate is heavier. Awesome. All right, let's move on to the next step. Okay, so now we've got to get our hot water. Now, I would ask for an adult's help, okay, someone that is older than you to help you handle the hot water, okay? After we get our hot water, we're going to fill our Tupperware. Doesn't have to be all the way. Okay, and make sure that an adult is helping you handle this hot water. Okay, so I just filled mine up halfway like this. Okay, and now we are going to put our candy in for 2 minutes. I'm going to share my second screen. There we go. All right, so now we are going to put our bags of candy in. So we're going to put our chocolate and our gummies in at the same time. All right. Okay. Now this is where you will need your ruler. Here's something long so that you can hold it down in the hot water for 2 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to hold this in the hot water for 2 minutes. Okay, so we've got about 42 seconds left. Now, I'm wondering, do you guys think the chocolate will melt? I think the chocolate will melt. Now, what about the gummies? Do you think the gummies will melt? I don't think the gummies will melt. All right, we've got a few more seconds, and then we are going to find out. All right, so the 2 minutes are up. Now we are going to check and see. All right, so I'm going to take the candy out of the hot water. Let me actually show you guys what I'm doing here. Let me share my screen so you guys can see. These out. Make sure you have, I would have an adult help you guys, so make sure that you have an adult help you take the baggies out of the water. Okay, and then we're going to put them on the plate. All right. Okay. Move that there. Move this back here. All right. So let's look at the Hershey's side. So it says, did candy number 1 lose its shape in the hot water? Well, yeah, kind of. What would you guys say? To me, it still kind of looks like a square. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to circle where it says, did candy number 1 lose its shape in the hot water? I am going to circle yes on that one. Okay, and I'll share my screen so you guys can see in a moment. Then it says, when you squish candy number 1 with your fingers, does it change shape? Well, let's see. Yes, it does. Look at that. It's not a square anymore. So I'm also going to circle yes to answer that question. Okay, let me share my screen so you guys can see. All right. So now it says, draw what candy number 1 looks like now. Well, it looks like this. So I'm going to get my brown crayon and I'm kind of just going to draw a blob of chocolate because to me that is what it looks like. Okay. Yep. And then it says here, it says, do you think that candy number 1 is totally solid, partially melted, meaning soft and squishy, or that it melted into a liquid? I am going to cross this one, the last one where it says melted into a liquid, because this is definitely liquidy to me. Yep. All right, let's look at the gummy bears next. All right, so for the gummy bears, it asks, did candy number 2 lose its okay. Did candy number 2, I'm sorry, I was not expecting it to melt like that. Okay. Did candy number 2 lose its shape in the hot water? Yes. Yes, it did. Okay. So for that one, we can also circle yes. If yours did not, that is okay. Mine definitely did, but if yours didn't, that is okay. Then it asks, when you squish candy number 2 with your fingers, does it change shape? Yes. It definitely changes its shape. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see. All right, so it says, draw what candy number 2 looks like now. Okay, well, it looks like this. So I'm going to do my very best to draw this. I'm actually going to get a yellow color because my orange gummy bear looks yellow now. Okay, and then I'm kind of just going to draw some more blobs because that's just what it looks like to me. It literally looks like blobs. If yours looks different, that is okay. But I'm just going to draw what it looks like to me in the bag. Right. Then it says, do you think candy number 2 is totally solid? No way. Partially melted, soft and squishy, or melted into a liquid? So whenever I'm feeling it, it still feels squishy to me. It doesn't feel liquidy like my chocolate does. My chocolate is pretty liquidy. So I am going to check this one in the middle. Partially melted, it's soft and squishy. Okay? And with that being said, I have completed the testing candy for Camp Way Too Hot. So that's what you do. All right. And then again, if you do not have this printout, that is okay. You can just answer the questions in the forms. All right. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I did. I was actually shocked with this. But if you guys test any other candies like Starburst and Jelly Beans, definitely let me know because I'd love to know which gummy candies, which like fruity candies do melt and which don't melt in hot water. Okay, well, I hope that you guys have a good weekend and I'll see you on Monday. Bye, everyone.